Hello and welcome to Introduction to Communication Media. My name is Jennifer Martin. I'm going to be your professor this semester. If you've taken a class with me before, welcome back. If this is the very first class that you're taking with me, welcome, and I look forward to getting to know you this semester. So in this video, I want to go over what this course is all about to give you some idea of what to expect this semester. This is one of my favorite classes to teach. I teach this class every spring semester, and in this class, we take a look at all of the various forms of media around us. This is the books that we read, the movies that we watch, the songs that we listen to, the websites that we go to, and we take a look at each one of those forms of media and we see how that they influence us and how our society influences those forms of media. We take a look at these forms of media from their very origins all the way up to where they are today. Now, that's all really interesting, and in a regular semester and any other semester that would be interesting, but this semester I think that this course is not just interesting, but it's really important. There's so much going on in the news today, and we're getting our information from all different types of sources. So in this class, I hope us to develop our critical thinking skills to make sure that we're understanding the credibility of the sources that we're getting information from, and we're taking a look at how those sources are influencing the news that they're reporting on too. So I look forward to hearing your opinions on all sorts of different topics this semester, but I want you to keep one thing in mind. We all come into this course with strong opinions about what's going on. It's not going to be a goal of this course for us to persuade each other's political ideology, for instance, or our ideology on any other topics. However, we are going to challenge each other by making sure that we are getting our information from quality sources. We're going to come to an agreement on what those quality sources are and how we can trust different sources. And we're also going to make sure that we understand how to combat all sorts of different biases that we see in the media around us. So let me take you on a tour real quick through this course, and we will hopefully I'll answer some questions that may be mulling around in your head. So you'll see right here I'm in our course homepage, which takes you right to our modules page. So I'm going to recommend that each week you come on in, you take a look at our modules page, which is also our course homepage, and look at what's going on in each weekly module. So I'm going to be opening up our course 1 week at a time. Each week will follow underneath the other week. So once you're done with a week, I just recommend you go ahead up and collapse it so you don't have a whole bunch of clutter at the top of your page. So right now all you see open is week 1. Underneath that is just the typical online orientation and services that you see in any of your online courses. Week 2, though, when I open it up, will be under week 1. So the very first thing I want you to do, and you'll see a little welcome page from me, and that's great. That's where you're going to find this video. Go ahead and look at that. But then I want you to go ahead and click on our course syllabus. This is our syllabus addendum, and this is where it goes into all of our class policies. So I want you to read this document really carefully. I'm going to go through some of it right now, but I'm going to go through it rather quickly, so make sure you take a look at this document on your own. If you have access to a printer, I even recommend you go ahead and print this out. So at the top here, you're going to see our course description and our course objectives. Now, some of these objectives are really, really broad, so keep in mind we've got a lot of sub-objectives too. So for instance, demonstrate an understanding of the legal and ethical aspects of media within our society. Well, heck, that's a huge topic right there. So we're going to break that down. We've got to look at all sorts of different ethical considerations on each type of media around us. Let's see, over here in this black bar, I also want to show you this too. This is a 3-credit class. Most of you guys are taking this as part of your communications and journalism or sports management program, but you may also be taking this class as a free elective or an open English elective, and that's awesome. What a great choice. I'm so glad you came. We are going to be having class meetings every week through Zoom. I'm going to hold those on Mondays. They're typically going to last somewhere around ½ hour to an hour in length, and I have the link here. I'm also going to include the Zoom link in all of our course weekly modules. If you cannot make these class meetings, or if you cannot make a class meeting, I want you to watch the recording of it afterwards. That's an absolute must. I'll send out the recordings through our announcements tab. Here's other information on how to contact me. In addition to sending me messages through Canvas or emailing me, you can also call or text me. I can get text on this number. And you can also meet with me during my office hours. I have 3 office hours through Zoom every week, and they're held during these times. You don't need an appointment. You can just pop on in. So let's say it's Monday at 10:43 in the morning. You'll say, oh, wait, I know she's on Zoom right now. Let me just go ahead, use this link, and pop on in. That's totally fine. If I'm already meeting with another student, you may end up waiting in a virtual waiting room for a little bit until I get to you. It's no big deal. I will be there. So you have plenty of access to me to ask questions about this course or really anything else. I like to be as helpful as possible. Okay, going on to page 2, some important information. First of all, no textbook for this class. I will provide all of the materials that you need. You're also going to be finding a lot of the materials that you need for this class on your own. So we're going to be finding articles through the SEC's libraries databases, and then you're also going to be finding all sorts of other information from all of the media outlets that you already use. So no textbook, that's great. That saves us a lot of money. There's everything we possibly need is available online, so we'll be able to get that. I do have an attendance policy in this class. Your attendance and participation in this class is worth 20% of your overall grade. So how is that tracked? Well, one, your attendance in our class meetings, and if you can't make those class meetings, you have to watch the recordings of them afterwards. But then also your participation in weekly discussion posts. So you will have a weekly discussion prompt each week that you will be posting on by Sunday night. You also read and respond to 2 of your classmates by that Monday night. So go ahead and take a look at that. In addition, oh, there's my puppy. In addition, you'll also have some other work to do within the weekly modules that'll count towards that attendance and participation grade. I recommend that you spend around 4 hours per week working on this class. So get into the habit of logging into this class in the beginning of the week, Sunday, Monday morning. Take a look at what's due for that week and let me know that if you have any questions. Okay, I also, again, just right here, I have that Zoom link one more time. Okay, on this page, this is page 3 here, right? This is page 3. This is the breakdown of how your class grade is going to be comprised in this class. So again, your attendance and participation is worth 20%. I'm going to have you do a media diet analysis in the beginning and end of the semester. I'll give you more instructions about that when we get started with it, but that's going to be worth 10% of your grade, so 5% each. You are also going to be finding, reading, and reflecting on articles. You're going to do that 5 times throughout the semester. I call those article summaries. They're going to come from credible sources that just as long as you're getting them from what we have already, we'll go ahead and agree upon as our credible sources, or trustworthy sources, the topics of those articles are going to be up to you. So you're going to get a lot of flexibility on what you report on in this class. So you'll have 5 of those to do throughout the semester. They're evenly paced out and they're worth 20% of your grade. And then you will have 2 presentations that you're going to be doing in this class. You'll either present during our live classes on Mondays, or you will be recording yourself and uploading them through Canvas. Those are going to be on 2 different sources. One is going to be what I call an old media source. So that's going to be something that was developed before the year 2000 and still in existence today. And then a new media source, so something that was developed from 2000 on and again is still in existence today. So an example may be the New York Times, which has been around for over 100 years. That would be an old media source. And a new media source might be something like Twitter. Okay, so those are some examples, and I'll go into a whole bunch of information on what exactly you'll include in those presentations. But since you'll have 2 of those, they're 10% each. That's worth 20% of your grade. And then the big thing that you'll see is that 30% of your grade is based on a final essay that you're going to be working on really throughout the second part of this semester. So you're going to choose a topic, you're going to come up with a research question, you're going to do a ton of research on that, you're going to form a thesis, and you're going to present all of that information in a little bit of a lengthy paper. With that paper, the topic is going to be up to you, so that gives you a lot of flexibility too. So hopefully throughout the course, you're going to come upon a topic that really excites you, that you find really interesting, so that paper won't be too hard for you to write. And one of the other benefits of this paper is that notice when you look at all these class calculations up here, since we have all these writing assignments, there are no tests, there are no quizzes. So you get to really reflect upon topics really tailored towards your own interests in this class, and we don't have to, have agreed upon tests and quizzes to recall rote information. It's not like that in this class. So I think you'll enjoy that. I've really set this up a lot more like a graduate level course than an undergraduate course. All right, so more information about all of that is on that page. That's page 3. On page 4, you're going to find all of my general information. So if you've taken a class with me before, again, you're going to see, this looks probably pretty familiar to you. I always break this down on what I expect from you and what you expect from me. So that's not going to look very unfamiliar. One thing I am going to say, though, is, again, in this class, we really need to make sure that we adhere to that code of mutual respect. All right. Again, we're not here to try to persuade each other as far as, changing each other's, core values and core beliefs when it comes to various topics. But we are here to understand each other, and we are here to make sure that we're, our thinking is clear and that it's well supported. So keep that in mind in this class. I want us to really be respectful of each other's opinions, but I also want us to feel safe in sharing those opinions as well. So take a look at this and let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. My office hours, I already covered those, so that information is there. Keeping track of grades, I want to make sure you log into Canvas and you track your grades each week. The Academic Support Lab is awesome. If you haven't checked it out through Canvas, please do so this semester. Maybe you don't need the help in this class, but definitely check it out for one of your other classes. Maybe you need help in a math or a science course. Here's some information about our disability support services. If you had an IEP or 504 plan in high school, you want to make sure that you contact Mr. Calvin Cizik to get information to your professors about that. I have our academic honesty policy here. I do use a program called Unicheck, which is a plagiarism detector for all writing assignments in this course, so keep that in mind. You don't want to get a 0 on something because you didn't do a good enough job paraphrasing it or citing your sources. So even accidental plagiarism is still plagiarism. And then also you'll see this anti-discrimination policy. This is the college's anti-discrimination policy, but I felt like it was really important to go ahead and throw that in this syllabus as well, because as I put here, the bottom line is you should always feel welcomed, accepted, and supported at SEC. Okay, here is a list of our course topics. I would love to be able to get to all of these course topics. Most likely, we just don't have the time in 15 weeks. So I want you to take a look at this list. I want you to decide what topics are most important to you. I also want you to consider what's not on this list. What would you like to see included in this class that you don't see here? So take a look at this. You are going to be responding to a discussion post about this list this week. So let me go ahead and close this up. I'm going to come on back on over here in week 1, and you're going to see this discussion question number 1. This is asking you, take a look at that list and then go ahead and suggest 3 to 5 topics that you would most like to see us cover this semester, and explain why those topics are important to you. All right, I don't have a minimum or maximum length for these discussion posts. I will say generally, though, about a paragraph would be a minimum. Make sure that you're writing in a professional tone. You proofread everything that you write for this course. After you post your own discussion, I want you to go ahead, read over your classmates, and reply to at least 2 of them. And how I will grade your discussion post is listed right here. It's just a really simple little rubric. So that is something that I'm going to want you to have done by Sunday night, the 24th. All right, and then under that, the only other things I want you to take a look at this week are, this here gives you some more information about our virtual class meetings. Now, we're not going to get started on those until next week, so our very first one is going to be on Monday, January 25th, starting at 12:30, and the link to get to that is there. If you don't have Zoom already, I recommend you go ahead and get it on your phone, get it on your computer so that you can attend those classes, and you can also participate with your camera so we can see you as well. And then after that, you're also going to see that I have a link here to my office hours. And I'll go ahead and get started with my office hours really right away. So if you need to see me Tuesday or Wednesday of this week, you can go ahead and use this link. Okay, I think that's it. I've covered, I covered almost everything I wanted to cover in this. I'm sure there's other things that I left off, so I apologize. But basically, welcome. I'm excited to have you here. I'm so glad you're taking this very, very important class, and I look forward to a rich and rewarding semester with you. Bye-bye.